Hey, I like your poster. Would you please tell me a little bit about your internship and what you did last summer?
Of course. During the last 8 weeks of my summer, I was so fortunate to be able to work with the student software developing team here on our very own Berea College campus. This unpaid internship funded by Berea College allowed me to work as a full stack software developer in a team of 8 students and 2 fantastically knowledgeable supervisors on a website for the CELTS department, another organization on campus. CELTS standing for Center for Excellence in Learning Through Service. They are an organization responsible for managing large groups of volunteer activity on campus. They organize events and students can RSVP and try to volunteer and contribute to their community. It's such a great program. And this website helps them do exactly that. I spent all summer working on it.
Now I'm curious. What's the most important technical skill you got out of this internship, and why is it important to you?
The most important technical skill that I learned in this internship was how to work with all of these languages. And pardon the video, you can't quite see the quality. But I worked with Python, Flask, Jinja, Bootstrap, HTML, jQuery, and JavaScript. So I came into this internship not knowing a lick of software development. And this was just such a fantastic learning opportunity for me. I mean, I have never worked with JavaScript, which is a programming language which adds interactive functionality to websites. I never worked with HTML, which is just for templating, moving things around on the website. And there were parts of Python I had never used, which increased my technological proficiency there greatly. Flask is a web development framework. It lets you host your own web server so you can get your website from your own machine. Jinja is another templating language, which lets you pass Python information into HTML documents before sending them to the client. And having gone from zero web development activity to having learned all of this in 8 weeks is pretty spectacular. And even if I don't end up doing web development, just working with new technologies has just made me a more well-rounded CS student.
What's the most important non-technical skill you got out of this internship?
The most important non-technical thing I learned during my internship, that is definitely going to have to be understanding what it's like to work in real software development. Up until this, my only experience with software development was working in classes, which was good, but not representative of what it's going to be like to work in a real job. I'm a little picky with my work. I dislike IT greatly. So I don't like to do what I would consider just maintaining. And I was really afraid that software development might have kind of a stagnant workflow. Luckily for me, though, I loved it. I absolutely love this internship. This allowed me to create so many new features and bug fixes for this website, for this organization who helps so many people. And I felt such a sense of purpose doing it. And so realizing that I liked software development, I think, was my biggest non-technical achievement.
It sounds like you did a lot. Of all the things that you did in this internship, what do you feel the most proud of?
About what I feel most proud about? Honestly, it was learning all of this from nothing. I was so fortunate to have such knowledgeable supervisors and great teammates who were able to help me work through this huge technical stack. It was such a joy. I feel so proud of that. It's a lot of information to learn.
That's a lot of technologies, and I only know Python. How did you manage to learn all of these technologies in such a short time?
It was pretty short. And honestly, I'm not sure how I did it. But I know there are a couple of contributing factors. 2 big ones were my 2 supervisors, Dr. Scott Hagan, who works here at the CS department, and Brian Ramsey, of course, who is the head of the student software development team where I work now. Both of those guys were totally instrumental to my learning of this. Brian has so many years of industry experience, and he was so fantastic at working with all these technologies. And both of those guys sat at the end of my table almost constantly for the first 2 weeks. And they were there just to ask questions and to get information from just almost constantly. I was constantly pulling from those guys. And just through their sheer determination, I was able to learn so much. Another part of it was working in pairs. We worked in pair programming. And so while I was, kind of struggling away at an issue, I had a partner there to do research on, how this language works or how this web framework can, how do I start the server? And so just working with people was really fundamental to me learning all of these technologies, and in turn, why I feel so proud about this internship.
How do you feel like working in that wonderful team you mentioned impacted your experience in this internship?
As I just stated, the working in a team was super fantastic. I felt like a total sense of community, and working in GitHub finally, for the first time in my life, with so many different threads and so many different issues being worked on at the same time, I feel like that really helped me learn Git, which is not on here, but I did work with. And working in a team helped me figure out how to communicate my ideas better. This is another non-technological skill I'm very proud of. But working through problems was always something that was difficult for me to do with another person. But now that I've had so much practice with it over the summer, I can communicate half-formed ideas like that. It is so wonderful to have had this experience, and I am so lucky to have been accepted into this internship at the Student Software Development Center at Berea College for the summer of 2023. Thank you.